Welcome back to you for another most special update, my friends. Bitcoin has had 7 green weeks in a row, and now we're starting to tumble down. You could feel there's been a change in the air immediately. Donald Trump does a tweet. He says, you know what, Europe, it's over. Beep. Just presses the red button, 50% tariffs and threats and all these. People think it's Donald Trump that actually caused the markets to go down. No, it's not. It's just a catalyst, friends. Markets, just that's it, man. We've been going up for a while. And it's just time for the S&P to do its own skits thing. Remember S&P 500 fans? It looks like it goes up in a straight line over time, but it doesn't. It just does stuff like that. That's what it always looks like. There's always some new story that comes out that we have to latch onto. But I'm going to focus with you on something extremely important. Everything is now secondary to this, friends. Everything we've been waiting for is now happening, all right? The flash manufacturing PMI has finally come out at 52.3. Now, it's not the final PMI, so we still need time. However, it is the estimate part, okay? So we still need some time. And it's the forward estimate, and the forward estimate's big, 52.3. Now, if you remember, friends, from my business cycle charts here, the key number is 52, all right? I checked out the charts. I look at this very closely, and I've just noticed as each cycle appeared, when you breach 52, it's go time. Okay, now there is a fake out period here, but this was in the Bitcoin halvening year. Okay, so in the year after the Bitcoin halvening, 4-year cycle, when they're about to do the government debt rollover, when business PMI is cranking above 52, alt seasons begin. Okay, so there's so much to uncover here, right? So this is really, really good, right? And before business PMI is 52, it's garbage, like what it is now. Now, friends, there's something we just got to talk about. Soylana did have a season. Was it big enough, though, to justify everything? Now, what you and I want is that it wasn't big enough. We're like, oh, it doesn't count. But we just have to be honest, right? Was Soylana's season, was it similar to maybe DeFi 2020, where it was PvP, it was very big everywhere, things kind of moved up, money, I guess, was made in certain places, but ultimately it wasn't market-wide? Is that something we have to think about? Because if it's like last cycle, well, that means we had half an alt season, all right? And then we have a full alt season coming, and then we have another half alt season later on, all right? So that would mean we had 0.5 alt season here. Maybe there is like an alt season here. Maybe, you never know, friends. Maybe like ends in like November, October, November, December this year as this business PMI's up. And then maybe there's a fake out, and like maybe there's one more next year, March, April or something. And then next year we sell in may go away. That could happen, all right? But the most important part I want to tell you is no one knows. You have a G stack just in case, just to protect yourself. The biggest question I get, friends, is funny. Raul Powell said the same thing. Rara said the same thing. The biggest concern you have, and me too, we all have it, is we have so much PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, from these past 4 years. You are so scared of missing this top. You are so scared of it going like 3 or 4 or 5x, and then actually it drops 80% again for another 4 years. We all have that. Now, I don't know what the future holds, but there are some things that the market seems to be doing, which is pretty much on par, right? Remember, business PMI is overall business confidence in the world, pretty much. You got to think about that. Yeah. So once it turns, it doesn't just like disappear. You need like an actual exotic shock, like the black swan of zombie virus. But then they print and they get you out of it anyway, right? So remember the stock market, this is the S&P 500 fans. Remember, every year is sell in may go away. Yeah. However, what happened with our sell in may go away? Now I believe it's buy in may go away. Why? Because all these Jeets who were going to sell in May, they have sold early. They have sold months early. Look at this. They've sold down here. They sold March, April, down here. And they've already sold all the way down there. They sold, the price pretty much reset everything. So these Jeets, they bought after Donald Trump, and they thought they were going to get free money, and now they've sold the lows here. And now they're pretty much markets back up. So I think, I'm just guessing, man. We don't know. I'm hoping that we've reset those people. So now the damage that would have happened between May to October, that period, it's already happened here. That's what we're praying. Now, what that could imply is, the way I see it is, okay, if we go back, friends, to last cycle, and like you're guessing, man. We're just guessing. But if you go back to last cycle, what you'll see is where zombie virus was, and business PMI started kicking in, we ran about 12 months, okay, from literally May to May. So what I'll do now is I'll show you, because it's coincidentally, it was on the Bitcoin halvening. All right, that was interesting, on the Bitcoin halvening. Check this out. So when did business PMI tick up? It was June, okay, so June. You check that out. So we literally ran about, 12 months, about. So, about there's that 10, 11 months, okay? So that's something just to think about. Along that period of time, we started running up, right? But remember, we ticked up here, is above 52. Remember, the green line is business PMI 52. So you don't know how it's going to play out, but you just hope that this does continue up. It doesn't matter how high the number goes, but if it does continue, then you'll get, one or two alt seasons with, I'm feeling double bubble alt season. I'm feeling it. Yes. But you're just going to have to sort yourself out in terms of how much you want to pull out at each period of time. Technically, you should be selling every 2 seconds anyway, and distributing evenly. But yeah, I know everyone was like, oh, but we've held so long, I want to make money. I know, man, we're all welcome to everything. So that's why, if everyone's thinking like that, what are they doing, friends? Well, what I feel like everyone's done is they've all cheated. A lot of people have cheated altcoins. They actually have, and they're in Bitcoin now, which means I think Bitcoin, and a lot of you friends, naughty, a lot of you have MicroStrategy. Like, you're about to get cucked. Sorry, I don't know how else to say it. Like, you are buying the turbo nuclear top up only of Bitcoin dominance, because all these Bitcoin maxi guys who make money from leverage trading or selling you services, they have enough money just to keep DCA buying. They don't need to be hungry. They don't need to be the hungry wolf, man. It's dangerous, Just take the other side. All I'm saying is just think about the other side. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to necessarily do it, but Bitcoin dominance being this high, pretty much they believe, like, if you do that, man, like, the people, they don't understand the business cycle at all. They think it's never going to come up. And a lot of these people, friends, this is what Bitcoin maxis believe. They believe that when the business cycle goes up, they see altcoins as full-on casino, and that they don't participate in the business cycle. And so what they do is they want to build businesses in the business cycle, but their businesses are, oh, let's go find leverage ways to buy more Bitcoin. Or let's go do a really shitty payment system that is like really inefficient and 2 people use in the world, and let's deploy that around the Bitcoin layer 2, which no one uses, okay? That's the type of inefficient stuff they're doing. But they can only do that. Why? Because Bitcoin's price has gone up, So the market will punish them. It will punish them severely. And then you'll realize, oh, wait, we don't actually need to be super decentralized all the time. We can make really cool, faster stuff, which pretty much is altcoin stuff. Yeah, altcoins are the infrastructure of Bitcoin. So remember, the flash PMI coming out 52.3, and the expected was 49.9. So it's like a shock pump up, which is what we want, right? And as well, just more further reminder, that number, it is derived, like you can get an implied number from Bitcoin's price move. So Bitcoin ran up, look at this, from 75K, it ran up to 110 pretty much, right? So that move, friends, pretty much, that implies business confidence was rising and the PMI was going to shoot up anyway. Okay, so it's not really forward-looking. The price is forward-looking, right? The price is always pricing in the stuff in today. That's how it works. Now, something more interesting too, okay? When looking at this, in the past, when PMI hits 52, the next 3 months are fantastic for altcoins. That's what happened in DeFi season, and then we had continuation later on. Also, what about the top? Well, from the PMI cycle, there are 10 to 18 months from PMI 52 to the top. All right, 10 to 18 months. So the earliest is 10 months, the latest is 18 months. So we have to think, right? Let's say we do tick up 52 right now. Let's say the month reading is 52. And so this month will print 52 for Marwai. Right, here we are. We check it out. So this is April, this is 52. If we go forward exactly 10 months, right? Where would that take us? 10 bars, that will take us March next year. Okay, and where would 18 months take us? December next year. So the earliest will be March 2026, and the latest would be December 2026. Okay, so that's pretty much, that might be it. Okay, that's but you got to be careful, right? Like if you get that wrong, So if 10 months or 12 months is that zone, what am I leaning towards? And I have no information right now, but I'm just leaning towards next year will actually be sell-in may go away. That's what I'm leaning towards. So we might actually find, right, it actually does top out somewhere in March, April, May. And then it really does become, you should be selling in May and going away, right? Sell 1st of May, go away. Sell end of April, go away, whatever. That's what by the way, like we're a year out. So I'm just totally guessing. Just because this year, it was unique, right? Trump tariffs came out and it like brought forward the sell in May, go away stuff. Because why? Because yeah, that's how market cycles work. Because people were euphoric when Trump went in. Trump went in last year. They buy in. He does the Trump tariffs. He accelerates their selling. Next year, there probably won't be something like that. We're used to Trump tariffs. There'll have to be... I don't think it's going to happen again. Like that was so erratic. It's one of those unique things, okay? This does make it controversial because you might ask, well, Somi, what about Bitcoin topping and altcoin topping? Can those timings be different? Yeah, they can. But that's pretty much how I see it. Is that enough time for us to get to 10 trillion market cap for crypto? Yeah, it would be. If you're looking at anywhere from now until March or... Yeah, here we go. Actually, let me put the April. Let me put May. Right, here's the actual April, the chart. Here you go, 1st of May. So that might be it, okay, where the actual arrow is. Is that enough time for us to go up there? Yeah. So we go up 5 trillion. Everybody thinks it's over. And then next year we actually go, pop. That might be it. And then we distribute. So, you know, it might actually just look like that. Where this is Altseason Wave 1. Everyone thinks it's literally over this year. And then we run into next year. And because you convince people that 2026 is going to be great, I'm going to be holding the next year. So that is one way and one path. So please, friends, if you step into my shoes, maybe then, no, then you know. We'll crank it a bit. If you see it through my eyes, maybe then you go. Oh, maybe then you know. If you see it through my eyes. All right, now none of this is gospel at all. It can change. You don't have to worry about anything until the price is high, okay? Because we always get, because, you know, us, right? We got anxiety because you're like always trying to think of the future, but there's nothing we can do right now. Literally nothing. Just have this, take a deep breath. Just remember, there's nothing we can do now. Literally nothing. And there is not an ounce of euphoria. In fact, like people can't even say the euphoria word, right? The U word, euphoria, me-phoria. We-phoria, nothing. It's anxiety. We are still climbing that wall of worry. Climb. Oh crap! Is it over? It's gonna have PTSD. Okay. And I'm just think about that, man. It might be that simple. Where it just ends up selling may go away next year. Now there is another possibility, but I don't know if this is exactly gonna happen. But remember, I showed you others BTC. It is possible that we just literally just run up like 7 green candles for others BTC. It is possible. And then that is like a shocker move. And then it's just pretty much over, right? That would complete just a 4-year cycle where it turns out that December 2025 this year, the mantra I've been talking about since 2022, I'm like, oh, just wait till that period. It could be that as well. I know, friends, because we've gone through the different scenarios. There's no perfect anything, right? But I feel like it's easier to make your decision when you look at the whole crypto industry, macro stuff, instead of your individual altcoin. Because if we look at our own coins, you never think they're high enough, ever. You're like, man, it hasn't even hit anything. It's still garbage, right? But if we're, say, looking at that total crypto market cap right here, if we're looking at the total crypto market cap, you're like, yeah, man, it's only 3.32 trillion. That's nothing, right? So you look at this, you're like, a 3 trillion market cap, what's the business cycle saying? Well, you know, it's still low. Okay, that pretty much, that gives you confidence that we've got a long way to go. Now, maybe time-wise, not a long way to go, but, you know, price-wise, yes. Remember, friends, look, just show you the power of 1 year. So you might think, oh, something, is even 10 months enough for us to do it? Look, Habibi, I mean, like, friends, literally, you want to go, friends, from literally, if you go from May, look, check this out. Right, if you go from like literally April, May 2020, it was literally the world is over. 12 months later, you've got Dogecoin mania, 90 billion market cap, right? And Ethereum's gone 45x in this period. Cardano's gone like 100x. You see? So yes, these things They can happen. They do happen. But, you know, that's a zombie virus going all the way down and printing. What if we get another Trump repeat cycle? Well, it might be like that, where kind of interesting. You have this like move up, there's a fake out, and then we actually just continue up. This is a type of Trump cycle season out here. You see this extended business ISM here, PMI. Well, this kept the stock market high, but crypto was in a bear market in 2018. So let me show you this. So crypto was in a bear market for all of 2018, and PMI was still high. I was keeping the stocks high, but then at the very, very end, it just fell off the cliff, and stocks and everything capitulated out with it. So another theme as well, right? Crypto tops out earlier. So that's why, man, it's so hard. That's why you have to be long crypto, because like you don't know when it's going to go, but you just know in this like window of time, it's meant to be 4 years. We're already due that. It might be a 5-year freaking cycle, but in this window of time that you're hoping 5 years, money you don't need, okay, no leverage. Yes, it could take longer to start. However, once it does start, the gains are so explosive, it more than makes up for everything. But then it tops out early. Okay, there's no clear, real easy read on this. And I hope, friends, what I've done is I've shown you some very kind and gentle angel music vibes, because just think about this when you see, you know, President Trump recommends 50% tariff on European Union. See this news, friends? This is retailer junk. That's retailer news. Like, oh no, it's Trump talking. You know, that's just junk. Okay, what we're doing is it's professional baby doll stuff. You know, and even written here, just when you thought about getting happy for 7 seconds, the world throws another curveball at you. Yeah, climbing the wall of worry. Climbing the wall of worry. Okay? Donald Trump ready to bitch slap markets all over again. Okay, friends? So remember, friends, I've written here. I believe it's simply climbing that wall of worry. Enjoy the friendship. Still need patience. Okay? So I feel like everything's still the same. Nothing has changed. And, you know, I'll be reminding you along the way, but like, you know, everyone has a guessing point where they think it's all going to end, and no one knows. Like, you've got Uncle Bobby and blockchain backer that literally think it's all over in like 2 months. Okay, they think it's literally all over in 2 months, which I'll show you just the Bitcoin price chart. Yeah, so they think, you know, we're going to the fib. They're going to this fib and it's pretty much all over. They go, well, see yous. It's all over. They think that's happening. Then you have, I could also say to you, hey, you know, symmetrical 4-year cycle is, you know, ending October. So you got guys in July, you got guys sending October, symmetrical. And then I might just say, hey, man, you know, like in every single cycle, selling in December of the year after the Bitcoin halving is like, okay, just prepare for the bear market of that. You know, just sell everything there. But then I've just shown you business PMI. It's business PMI has never kicked up this late into crypto cycle ever before, ever. It's never kicked up this late before. It's never like risen above 52 in post-halvening year. It was always in the Bitcoin halvening year, did it? This is the first time it's done it after the Bitcoin halvening year. So you're like, okay, like the business cycle's been shifted, you know? Now it's like it's delayed. But now what's it going to have? Is it going to have a longer business cycle, or is it going to go super aggressive and catch up? That's the thing. Because the business cycle, friends, it's not perfect. You know, it could be 3.5 to 5.5 years. You see that? That's the business. You know what I mean? There you go. There's a 2-year window where, friends, we can have a bull and a bear market in crypto in that. Bitcoin goes up and dies in that period of time. You know, so it's that's what makes it even more difficult. And then you even have, okay, sell in May next year and go away. But yeah, ultimately, I think we're gonna stick to the basics, man. We have all that macro data. We have others BTC to guide us, and I'll be reminding things along the way, you know, Coinbase App Store ranking or whatever. So we still continue the journey. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.